Hi, folks. I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Debbie Walker. Today we're going to talk with our guest, Anna Feltz, who is the new business administrator. And we're also joined by Mayor Walker and by Council President Mary Sohar. Folks, welcome. Good to have everybody here.
Thank you, Jane.
for having us. Thank you.
Anna, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
I know you've been busy lately.
Very.
Maybe we could lead off with you. Can you give us a little background?
Sure, absolutely. So just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I've been with the township for almost 10 years now, and I started in the senior center. I actually started as a volunteer at the food bank, and then I transitioned into the senior center and grew my role there to manager. During that time, unfortunately, the senior center saw a pandemic that shut us down for a while, as you both know. But we kind of thrived through the pandemic and became a national model for our virtual senior center. That has been very life-changing for the center, as we have seen an increased growth in attendance over the last 2 years since we fully reopened. And I think that our efforts during the pandemic is what has brought people out to join the center. They saw how vital we were, and they wanted to be part of this community and part of this senior center. So those efforts did not go unnoticed. As far as my background a little bit, I went to a college for history, as well as a minor in political science and French. And my master's is actually in law and governance. My passion, which most people don't realize, is actually contracts. That was my favorite class in grad school. Contracts and ethics. Those two things are things that I love. And I also have a certificate in human resources. So I bring that background of business. Not only did I get the opportunity in the senior center to serve our residents and really get to know them, especially our older community, but also I was on the employee side of things. So I think I bring something a little different to the business administrator role now. Mayor Henry in September had asked me to assist him after Mr. Shaw had retired as an assistant business administrator, along with Nicole Shapiro, our township engineer. So her and I kind of tag team for those 4 months, and later that year in December, after Mayor Walker's win, she saw it fit to ask me to become the business administrator. So here we are today.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
If I can go back to one thing, your role that you played during the pandemic, it seemed that you did a spectacular job in involving the citizens that were not physically on premise. What led you to do that?
So we wanted to make sure that we kept our members engaged, and I think one of the hardest thing, and I'm sure you both can also speak on that, during the pandemic, was that social isolation that we all had to endure.
Yes, ma'am, yes.
And I think that socialization is a number one thing to keep us young. And at the senior center, everything we do revolves around socialization. So during the pandemic, we wanted to keep that going. So we created a virtual senior center on our Facebook page. And we also went out and received grants to purchase iPads as well as hotspots, so that the members that did not have the money or internet access at home were able to stay connected with us. And we started that program and rolled that out. We offered Zoom classes, we offered outdoor classes at the park, things that kept us all safe and kept us together.
You did a tremendous job. I remember when it was going on. You did a great job with that. You really did. You really should be saluted for that.
Thank you.
One question has always been on my mind. It was a senior center. Then it became Silver Linings. What happened?
So one of the things that we did, and this was something that we presented to council years ago with the previous manager, is I think the word senior center had a different meaning in probably 10 to 15 years ago, and there was maybe a negative connotation to the word aging. 100%. I think that ageism, unfortunately, is very real, and I think that to get away from that stigma of the senior center, we kind of wanted to rebrand and change their name, and I think that we have served as a silver lining for a lot of members and residents in our community, so that's what led us to that name. And we're an activity center for adults 60 plus, and we are very proud of that.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, how are you doing? We can't let you sit there, Mayor, without saying something.
I'm doing very well. I was lucky enough that Anna said yes when I asked her to be the business administrator. I saw what a phenomenal job she had done at the senior center, and then when Mayor Henry asked her to be acting BA, she did an outstanding job. And Mayor Henry came to me and said, you know, I think Anna's doing a fabulous job, and she's just doing an amazing job. We both hit the ground running. We're both new, and I think we're doing a very good job.
Yes.
Oh, good. And Mary, how you been doing?
Okay, very good. Thank you, Jean. And I agree with Debbie. Anna's really doing a phenomenal job. She, it's hard. These are big shoes that we're left.
I was going to say, major job.
Yeah, and it takes, you know, a special person to be able to start to address all these issues and move forward. And the transition has been, in my opinion, very smooth. There has been, you know, people in the building are very calm. There doesn't seem to be any kind of, you know, about a new person, because she's not. She's been here already. So she had made relationships with the different employees before, and she understands how Old Bridge runs. So I think this was a really, really good fit. Absolutely. And Debbie, great job.
Okay. Well said, Mary. Thank you.
And Anna's also a resident of Old Bridge as well.
Right.
Which
So that even helps more.
yes, very.
Anna, can you give us a little idea of what you do, what your core duties are?
Sure. So one of my main duties, obviously, is to see the operations of the town inside and out. So that involves overseeing our various department managers and directors. I have been fortunate, because I had been on the other side, to have developed my own working relationship with most of our directors. So I think that has served as a benefit to me in this new role. I have a very good line of communication with those individuals, a very great working relationship, and also with the employees at large. I think it's very important not to forget about our employees. It's great that we have amazing directors and things like that, but those directors are amazing and our departments are amazing because of the employees under them as well. So I'm able to bring that knowledge. So that's one of the big parts, is overseeing our managers. I also work to support our residents and business owners. So any concerns that they have that they need a little further assistance with after going to our various departments, I'll step in and assist in any way that I can as well. I obviously provide as much support as I can to our mayor and council. Anything they need, have questions on, I will do the research. One of my strongest skills is if I don't know something, I will find out everything I can about that item before I come back and tell you. So I will educate myself. Yes. I will educate myself and make sure that I don't speak out of line on a topic without knowing all the information first. And then obviously, as the business administrators, one of my core focuses is to focus on the budget and the financial status of the township. So to that end, I have a great relationship with Dawn Sobota, our current Director of Finance and CFO. And for the last 4 months, her and I were very busy preparing the budget. So actually, it's a process that really starts in August and takes the finance department, just runs with that. And all of our directors start submitting their requests in September. Then we have several meetings. We had meetings in October, December, January, February, and March, leading up to introduction of the budget. So that also, even though the budget passes in early April, typically, the process will start again in less than 4 months. So,
She's definitely a major asset here. She's very knowledgeable about everything. She works 7 days a week, even though I tell her not to. She's always here. And if, like she said, if she doesn't know about something, she digs deep into it and finds out how to solve problems. She's definitely a problem solver. And what it's good about Anna is she gets along with everyone too. She's a pleasant person to work with.
Yes. I think that the budget is so important, though. I think there's a major effort for you, too. Right, Mayor?
Yes. People don't realize what's involved in the budget process. It's very lengthy. It's not just a week. And then after the budget is almost ready, we do have open to the council and to the public. We have budget hearings where we go over line item by line. And so by the time the budget actually presented to be voted on, the council has had a very good look at it.
Okay, and Mary, I'm sure that impacts the council as well, right?
Absolutely, Jean. Yeah, we have all these meetings, set up workshops where we come and we discuss line by line items. But you know, it gets very challenging because every year there are increases in so many areas, like health insurance, or now we're facing with recycling. It's gone sky high. So what happens is we have to also, as a council, sit and listen and try to, maintain a good, a good pace. We don't want to raise taxes excessively. Nobody wants to do that. We also, though, have to make sure that we can budget for things that are coming in the future, like negotiations on various contracts with the workers. There's a lot to be said for this. It's not an easy process, but you also have to have a long-range plan. You can't just for 1 year say, oh, yeah. No, you have to sit down and really have a strong grip on the finances, and that Anna has too as well. And Debbie, of course, having been on the council as long as she has a good understanding of it too. It's not easy. Money is not easy.
Well, I recall having seen it over the years. I've never participated in it, but I've seen it take place.
Yeah, no, like health insurance, all of a sudden, you're looking at major increases.
Minimum wage increase.
I think the word's inflation, isn't it? Isn't
Well,
inflation
I think so.
the word?
That's a very good word for it. Yes.
Understand that grants are an important part of the business. Can you shed a little light on it?
So grants play a big part of the operation of our entire town. From our senior center, who relies heavily on those grants so that the programs and services that we offer there comes to no cost to our residents. So that's kept the center going. But also grants in our other departments. People may not think. For example, right now we're in the process of applying for grants for equipment for Public Works. We recently applied and I received a 1.2 million, I want to say, from a federal grant for technology upgrade and security upgrades for the police department. We receive CDBG funding, which is Community Development Grant funding, to do various roadwork improvements, drainage improvements, and things that affect the community at large. So grants have a vital part in every single one of our departments. So we will continue to work hard on them. This is a passion of mine. I think that if there's a grant out there and we can use that, let's use other people's money, right?
Of course. I like that.
Exactly. So if we're able to do that, that's where we want to focus on. And I think we have a great team. The company that we work with for our grants, whether it's the grant research or application process, has been very beneficial to our departments, and we'll keep using them.
I was going to ask you that. Who provides these grants? Who is good enough to give you this largesse, so to speak, with the grants?
So the state, exactly. So as Council President Sohar mentioned, the state has grants, federal government has grants, you also county grants, and also private entities.
That's what I was going to ask you about the private entities.
Yeah, so you have, for example, our Parks and Rec department applied recently for not a large grant, I think it's $10,000 or $15,000 through the Mets Association. They're doing it's a play ball, New York Sports or something along I forgot the exact name, but it's through the Mets, for example. So you have these private entities also that have these community grants, and that's what we like to do. ShopRite also gave us a couple grants. DuPont Corporation also gave us grants recently. So there are private entities out there also giving out these community grants.
Okay, well, thank you. Folks, we're getting ready to take a break. We are talking with our guest today, Anna Feltz, who is our business administrator, along with Mayor Walker and our council president, Mary Sohar. Please stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
My baby's back from the West Coast.
Here are those pictures that you asked for your school project? First day of school, cute as a button.
So long ago.
Oh, here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Those beans smell heavenly.
Give Mom a little
You
credit.
know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year.
Great idea.
At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with the link.
Okay.
Smart.
I'm coming to share with you guys.
Protect your legacy. Plan for natural disasters today. Visit ready.gov/plan.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Debbie Walker. I'm also joined today with our special guest, Anna Feltz, who is our business administrator, and our council president, Mary Soha. Folks, thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
If we can talk about some things, Mayor, we have a couple hot items going now, Cottrell Farm and Menino Park. Would you want to address those a little bit?
Sure. As you know, Cottrell Farm's been many years in the
Yes,
process. A lot of it was done with millions of dollars in grant money, and we're going to be opening it in May. It has a beautiful playground. It's going to have a splash pad, walking trails. I mean, eventually down the road it's going to have an amphitheater.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And the original buildings are still there, the farm, the farmhouse, and we've been over there, and it's been being fixed up, and it's absolutely beautiful right now. We took a nice little walk around there. I think the residents are going to be very happy with it.
Is one of the buildings going to be a stage for the creative people?
Yeah, we're going to have an amphitheater, hopefully.
Yeah, that was talked about for a while.
Correct. So we applied for a grant recently for that, and we hope to have that part of our phase 3 of the development of Cottrell Farm Park.
Was an amphitheater part of the Menino Park structure too at one time?
I don't remember that.
I think that was more.
I think it was Cottrell. I thought it was always Cottrell. I don't know. Maybe
They had 12. You know what? They had done some, groups that were sitting together and discussing perhaps, different usages, and that had come up, but it really wasn't at the forefront. I mean, people had mentioned it, but Cottrell, like the mayor said, was more where we were thinking of having something like that. It's central, Yeah. We're
gonna have fall festivals here and things like that. Maybe our Old Bridge Day. We're talking about different events here. They're going to plant a bunch of trees there this spring as well.
Apple trees.
Our Shade Tree Commission, more apple trees, because it wasn't, as you know, it was an apple orchard at one time.
Right.
Well, I think the goal for Cottrell Farm Park, from what I've heard, has been to be more of a passive recreation type park. A lot of our parks are focused on sports and things like that. So this is more for the family, the whole family. The splash park, the playground, the walking trails. If you want to just go take a walk, there'll be benches throughout the trail.
Amazing feature, the whole place.
Yeah, the house has been completely renovated, so we have hopefully some good plans for that. The barn was completely restored as well. So it's got so much potential, and we're very excited.
Yeah, it has a big open grassy area too, where families could go and hang out.
That'll be something else. That'll be great.
Yeah, something a legacy.
Is the former mayor going to have his community garden? That's the question.
Well,
not to bring up a point.
No, it's an ongoing project.
We're tossing that around.
Just being facetious.
I think the best if the community garden would have to wait until the phases are done, just so that we're not destructive to those, the vegetable and things like that. But I mean, there's a lot of great things and a lot of great space over there to be used. So,
Mayor, you had talked about Menino Park expanding, and getting new turf.
Yeah, actually, we put 3 new fields in. So now the wagon wheel, as they call it, is complete now with the concession stand in the center. It's absolutely beautiful. You haven't been there.
I've been there recently.
Yes.
So
it's
the
all
YMCA
turf fields. The YMCA is in the beginning when you pull into Menino, and when you go in, they have the turf fields, and then to the right we have a playground and the pickleball courts. This year is budget though. The playground, they're getting a new playground because it's up for a new playground. They're going to move it to a different part of the park. And they're going to expand the pickleball courts as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And we do have our dog park there as well.
Yes, and we have a dog park.
The bark park.
Yeah,
the bark park. Exactly.
But again, another work in progress. That there is long-range planning to that. There's all different discussions. People always give us ideas like bocce ball courts.
We're actually having bocce ball courts in the budget too at Menino.
So you know, slowly but surely, it's increasing. You know, in what's available.
Okay. One thing we should definitely address is the new shopping center that has sprung up miraculously in the last year or two. And we recently had ShopRite and Target. Annie, you want to address that a little bit?
Sure. So we are very excited to bring Target, new to Old Bridge, but also our ShopRite that was on the other side of Route 9 has now moved to a much bigger location across the way in Glenwood Green. And I think our residents have been super excited. ShopRite opened in March, and Target actually just recently opened officially on April 14th. And it's just a great addition to the town. I think it's going to bring a lot of business in town, and all the other little stores that are being added. There's going to be a couple fast food chains there, I believe. There's going to be a restaurant, an organic restaurant. There's a couple other businesses in there that I think our residents are going to love. So we're excited that that has been a big project that's been in the works for a long time.
For about, what, 30 years?
Oh, yeah, 30 years. I think it was approved 30 years ago. It was approved, yes.
Yeah, and that ShopRite has been in the works for as long as prior Mayor Henry had been
over 10
here.
years.
So we're excited to see it to come to fruition. And it's funny when you said that it just sprung up overnight, because I really do feel like it just popped up. One day it wasn't there, and now it's here, right?
That was my feeling too, and passing it regularly.
Right. So we're very excited about those things.
They had a Midnight Madness sale. There were hundreds of people waiting 2 hours in line to check out.
It's open 24 hours.
24 hours a day. Yes.
ShopRite is open 24 hours.
That ShopRite now is 24. Wow.
Yeah, and it's funny because I recently spoke with one of the grocery managers there, who's a great supporter of our food bank. We work with her a lot when we need stuff for the food bank, and she mentioned to me that their busy time is different now. It used to be that they weren't busy in the evening, but now with everybody coming south going home, everyone stops at ShopRite first on the way home. So she said that they've seen like a weird increase in needing more cashiers in the evening when typically it was more during the day. So there's been a lot of things, and I think they've done really well to acclimate to the busyness of the store. But they have so much to offer in there: fresh foods, fresh bakery, deli, things like that. It's just really a great store. Yeah.
Just wanted to add that ratables have always been something that the town has strived to bring in to help all entities in the town, the schools, the municipality, and these are good ratables. They really are. So we're fulfilling some of that commitment to try to do that. Long time in coming, but now they are here, and that will be beneficial to the tax base.
There's going to be a turning point. I heard Duck Donuts and a Shake Shack.
Okay, how about other department stores or major stores like
No, nothing like that right now. I know there's going to be a medical arts building
Really?
there, I believe, like a doctor's office right in the front.
They're a
but
good
yeah,
anchor, though, those
They
two.
are. Oh, and I believe there's a Wawa too, I think,
Yes,
right?
I
There's
think
going to be
that
a
was
Wawa
another
there
one,
as well. That's a
Wawa.
popular one.
Yeah,
So
it's another
Well,
one.
that's amazing.
I think
little
Old Bridge
company.
now is going to have 3 Wawas, like 4 actually.
Wow.
So yeah.
Be on the map.
Yep. So.
Got to look for the day when Wawa goes public.
Yeah, really. You're absolutely right
See
about
what
that.
happens when it goes public. I tell you, before we close, can we talk about one topic? Your desire to do some long-range planning. May you want to address that a little bit?
Sure. Me and Anna talk about it quite a lot. Once we got through the budget process, our main focus now is going to be focused on long-range planning, because you need long-range planning. You can't just live year to year. You have to think what's going to happen 5-10 years down the road and prepare for it, because you can't all of a sudden have this big, you don't want to have raise taxes. So we're definitely going to set what our top priorities first, and then we're going to work on a long-range plan.
Okay, and Mary, how do you see the council involved in that?
Well, I think the
Long-range
council is very much involved, and I think they want to be. I think we are striving to do the same thing that the mayor and the business administrator are doing, which is to provide the residents with a good, solid foundation to respond to their needs and to give them the most that we can for their money. And we appreciate our residents, and that starts from the mayor, the business administrator, and on to the council and out to the residents. And it's so very important for them to understand that. They're here for the right reasons, and they are making good decisions. And I think our future is very bright because of this team over here. So I'm a fan, you can tell. But I do think that that's so important. Residents have to feel that their needs come first, and that there's a voice for them, and they'll be able to reach out and have them answer.
Okay, Mayor, have you put in a hotline since you took office that people can address?
No, my hotline goes right to my assistant.
Your assistant?
1-800-ANNA.
Assistant Lauren, yes.
When residents do address you, what do they mostly talk about?
Well,
What do they wanna hear
recently
about?
we've had a problem, believe it or not, with the JCP&L, the street lights.
Yeah, I was gonna
Actually,
ask
yesterday
you.
we had a meeting with one of the bosses there, and hopefully we're going to be getting some good news pretty soon. Because it seems like other towns, I've spoken to other mayors in other towns, are having the same issue we are, with a lot of street lights going out and not being repaired. So there's a possibility that JCP&L is going to make a department that's going to go out ahead of time and check the lights out in town, so the residents won't have to always keep reporting them. So we're fingers crossed hoping. That seems to be the biggest issue, believe it or not, street lights.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Which we'll take it if that's the biggest issue, you know?
Yeah, we're focused on, we have our new chief of police now, and we focus on public safety. It's #1 priority for our
Good
town.
decisions. That's,
Yes,
you know.
we have now 2 canines now,
We have
Zeus and
2
Apollo,
canines,
yes,
right.
to add to our
Force.
force,
Force,
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's so nice.
Well, I see we're getting to an end of our discussion today, folks. Anna, I want to thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Want to wish you the best of luck in the new job.
Thank you very much.
You're doing a great job as it is right now.
Thank you.
And Mary, as usual, you're doing a great job on the council.
We try, Gene.
And Mayor, good luck to you.
Thank you.
As the new mayor. Folks, this has been Old Bridge Outlook for this time with Mayor Debbie Walker. We've had as our guest Anna Feltz, our business administrator, and our council president, Mary Solar. Thank you for watching. I'm Gene McLaughlin. We'll see you next time. Take care.